minutes. Let's see, it's 11:17. Okay.
Go to 11:30.
11:30, no problem. Okay, gotcha. Thank you, Ken. Yes. What do the sound effects I get from, where do you get, it's a good question, where do you get the sound effects? From the internet. All you do is go to Google and you type in Barney Rubble MP3. And then you download them directly to your computer. If they're in other formats, there's converters online for free websites that you can use. I'll have that in my book when I finish it, that you can use this thing called KeepVid, KeepVid.com, KeepVid.com. And what you're able to do with KeepVid is you go to, and there's MP3, there's another one too, but you go to KeepVid and you go to any YouTube video and you can pull the music and extract it directly from the video. So if you see legally, yes. So that's another thing young people think about. I like that kid. All right. So it's all online for free, and there's so much of it. It's endless. It's endless. Yes.
Could you respell that again? What did you say? KeepVid?
KeepVid is it's www.keepvid.com. KeepVid.com. That allows you to extract music from videos on YouTube for free. And then they're MP3s. And the MP3 snip, mp3snip.com is the same thing. Yes? It says the Dummy Pro is not available in the United States. It's not available? Are you looking at, no, Dummy Pro is the one that I sell for a lot of money. Dummy U on the App Store is, that's for free, and there's another one for $1, and that you could use and just play around with your phone or iPad. But this one that connects to the Wii remote that you're able to do and all that, that one's like it's $1,250, but it's $1,000 here. But that's the high end. That's the big one. Yeah, that was the one that I've never sold a lot of these, to be honest with you, and I don't care if I own or I don't, because I do or I don't, because. It's kind of, there's only 3 or 4 people in the U.S. doing it, and when you do corporate parts, you get paid a lot of money, and you don't want anybody doing your corporate bits. So it's kind of like, I sold it like just a few select people. But online, yes?
Has anyone ever actually memorized that?
Understand what you're saying. What code? Has anyone ever memorized that code? Do you really mean that code? Okay. I don't know it. So if you tell me what it was, I'd say, okay, you win. So what you're really saying is you're desperate for money. Welcome to the club. Yes, my friend. Yeah, kind of, yeah. That's interesting, this comedy thing. I could talk for hours about comedy. I love comedy, and I share equal value with that, with the ventriloquism. I love both of them, and it's poignant they put them both together. It really is. It's a beautiful thing. It's a great synergy. And by the way, just not to go off your question, but I'm inspired by seeing people laugh and making people laugh. And I'm inspired, and by the way, inspired is, I want to bring this up, and I'll get back to your question, but inspired is a really, I don't know if people even understand the word inspired. When I was younger, I was numb, and now I've gotten older and I feel so much more alive, and also more inspired to do new things. I feed off of inspiration. And what is inspiration? What is that word? People don't even understand what the word is, and the word actually means, no one ever thinks about this. I think about words a lot, and that's what comedy is about. It means to be in spirit. So all of the great humor and all of your ideas and things that come from outside into your head is inspired. It comes from outside to the inside and then back out. So when you get a great idea that pops into your mind, it's inspiration. And it's a beautiful word, it's a beautiful thing, and it's something that just flies by us every day, and we don't actually stop a moment and say, hey, what's happening here? So I was inspired by this. I was inspired by Bob Rumber when he showed me a different way to look at my app. Alan Seamock, who made me that little wood chip guy or whatever. He was really nice enough to spend a lot of R&D making me something goofy, that never has been done before, but he inspired me as well. So in answer to your question, where does this comedy come from? It's a big, big question, and it's hard to answer it really quickly because I do write my material. I write jokes every day on the treadmill. I go on for an hour and I write several jokes, and some of them are really brilliantly funny, some of them are really dark and nasty, really nasty. And I'm trying not to limit what you write, because when you limit yourself, you're stopping the flow of the music in your head. So you have to let it all come out, whether it's good or bad. I know Carol recently sent me an email and said, "Oh, that joke you wrote was nasty." And it was nasty. And I was going to write back an email and tell Carol, but. And I said, "You know, you're right, delete, next, write another one. It doesn't matter. I'll tell you the joke. You want another joke?" You're right, though, Carol. It was really nasty. I wrote, "A modern-day pedophile says to a kid, 'Hey, I got Wi-Fi in my van. You want to come in?' Because it's bad. It's disgusting." But I know. Of course, Bob would do less. All right, so the kid show performer. So, but to not write the joke and not put it out means that I'm stopping the flow, and you have to edit it all. So there's an appropriate place for everything. And where does it come from? It comes from letting it all open and constantly focusing on humor. I do study humor on a daily basis. I write sometimes very esoteric, poignant, beautiful things. And yet, nobody cares about that as much as the 1-2 punch, the 1-2 punch, the 1-2 punch. The basis of all humor is in jokes. If you really want to be a good ventriloquist, learn jokes, because that's the basis of humor. And out of that comes all the other stuff of comedy, storytelling, and being funny, and all the other stuff. But humor, to me, humor is everything. And I see the world in a skewed way. As a matter of fact, it's getting darker as we speak. What's that all about? Right? I hope I answered your question. I could go for hours about humor. I'm going to put a big chapter in my book about it. And I'm not an expert on any of this. I'm really not. I'm a real world worker. I'm telling you, I've done 800 shows a year for 20, 30 years, and I've done it all, and yet I'm not even known. But I don't care about that. But the point is I've been out there a long time doing all this stuff. I just know from trial and error what works, not because I'm smart, because I've hit the tree enough times to avoid it, basically, if you will. Yeah. You're going to raise your hand and ask this guy to tell me this guy has a question. Should I answer you or him? He's always been putting his hand up for 30 minutes? He's a ventriloquist. Thank you, my friend. All right. And the hat there. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't see you there. You're in the dark, actually, and you're wearing a dark hat. Why? He's sitting upside down. All right. Sorry, I couldn't. No, he's a giant thumb. Ah, all right. Are you bald underneath? Good. I knew it. All right, I knew it. All right. Remember when your wife used to run her fingers through your hair? All right, never mind. Why am I making fun? I love you, bro. Touche, brother.
So we'll get around to the question sooner or later. The Cesareal Soundmaster.
Yes.
You said you're a dealer, so do we buy that through you or through?
If you buy it from me, you're going to save money, because if you go to the guy, say, I don't know what he's charging, say he says it's 900. Come to me, I'll give it to you for 8. I don't care, because I'm not looking to make money. I make money as a performer, and I want to help other people. There's nothing I feel better than helping other people achieve their goals in this business, because I've worked really hard for a long time, and nobody was always very helpful. There was very few people that are helpful. So, in fact, I was telling Mark Wade this last night. In 1987, I was at this convention, and I remember it was a young man, and I came here, and there was a hospitality suite. I won't say whose it was or what it was, but I walked in, and it was very cliquey. It was very cliquey. And I walked in, and everyone turned around, and then they went like this. And right? So I went home and beat my wife. I wasn't even married. I started beating her after. So, no, I went home. My wife was actually my girlfriend at the time, was with me, who was later on my wife. So we went, it was awkward, very awkward to feel that way, you know. So I remember thinking, oh, this is like a cliquey thing. They don't know you. If you're not writing a book or doing something in this business, nobody cares, or you have to make a stance. I didn't know what to feel. I felt very awkward. Since then, I think Mark has done a really great job at getting people to break down those. Everyone seems to be very kind of intermingled, and there's no hierarchy of, you know, and thank you, and I can't talk to you, and all that stupidity and all that ego narcissistic stupidity. So my point is that I think things have changed a little bit, and I, from that experience, learned that anytime I meet anybody, even, you know, the least among us, a kid that wants to be with anybody, I want to be helpful. I don't want to be the guy that's going to be, you know, like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't have time to talk to you, I'm too busy, or I'm too good for this. I didn't do that for applause, I'm not pandering you folks, I'm being honest, that's my true feelings. And so, even though I make fun of you, I'm happy to talk to anybody. I mean, it's just, that's what we're here for, is to grow and learn. And I like to encourage anybody else, because I feel like not a lot of people do that to others, and that's what we need to do here as performers, especially in our business. It's a very little business. We should really be more together than apart, you know, to strengthen that numbers. So, did I answer your question? Okay. Talk to my lawyer. Yes? About the sound system? Actually, more so than your average, because I don't know what they did to this thing. First of all, it's made out of ABA hard plastic, so you can't break it. And it has a warranty. If it breaks, you ship it back. They fix it, they ship it back to you within a couple of years. And within a couple of years warranty. But as far as the singing voice, see, I can double talk. See, but as far as the singing voice,